What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to the Arc of Wrestling podcast. We're here going to be reviewing Wrestlemania 30, and what a show we have in store for you guys tonight. First, we're going to get to everybody who's joining us tonight. We got Ryan, Doug,
Bleh.
Ryan,
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Ryan Fish, I guess.
Okay.
David West is joining us again.
Hello again.
John,
Where's my flight from Chicago to New Orleans?
worst British person in the fucking world.
Fuck you.
Dick.
Wesley.
Howdy, apparently my chicken slices have turned into a green herb of some sort.
Oh my god. Strike.
I have no idea how to feel about this.
Oh man, we're gonna get to this. Mike and Jonesy.
No.
WrestleMania 30 just ended about an hour ago, and what a show we have to talk about. Lot to talk about. We're just gonna talk about Mania this week. Expect some kind of show later on in the week covering everything else that happened during WrestleMania week, including New Japan Pro Wrestling's Invasion Attack, Shimmer's 64, 62? 62. And much more will be announced for that show later on. So please check our Twitter, twitter.com/Arc of Wrestling, to keep updated on those shows. Also, remember, we are live right now over on senshudo.tv/Arc of Wrestling. If you want to watch our streams, we are live over here right now. If you want to catch our podcast every week, there's the place to go find them. WrestleMania 30, guys, what a fucking show we have to talk about tonight.
I know, such a show.
I
This
believe CM Punk came back.
was the most controversial WrestleMania in years, I'd have to say. So much to talk about, so many things that could be going anywhere at this point. Let's just get started with what happened on the pre-show overall, the 2-hour pre-show. First hour was a lot of just interviews. Renee Young was fucking very sexy today. That dress was way too tight for anybody's boner.
He is right, though. He is right, though. Renee looked very dirty.
Very. Oh, yeah.
I'm not Greg.
Whoever's telling her what to wear, just keep on doing what you're doing.
You mean probably her style?
Yeah.
Fact that Bray Wyatt cut a promo on the first hour of the pre-show, and nobody told him he could just phone it in.
What happened?
Bray Wyatt cut a promo on the first hour of the pre-show, and acted like it was a selling promo on a pre-show.
A selling promo.
You know, like a promo you would see on the Go Home show, for instance.
Oh, okay. Maybe they ran out of time on Raw and they needed to put it in somewhere.
Nah, they've been doing these pre-show promos for the past while now.
Elimination match. Was this elimination match? When did they announce that this was elimination? Because I don't remember this being elimination.
It's pre-show.
Pre-show? Okay. Elimination match for the WWE Tag Team titles. Cesaro and Jack Swagger as the Real Americans versus Los Matadores, Fernando and Diego versus Ryback and Curtis Axel versus the Usos, Jimmy J. Uso.
Favorite Titantron effect goes to the Real Americans.
Oh, yes.
America.
America! And it was like, well, fuck me.
Okay. I guess we could talk about how the stage looked this year. Big fan of how the stage looked. I thought it looked awesome. It was very simple. There wasn't a lot going on, and it just looked grand. It made that place look huge. What did you guys think?
I
It
like
was
it.
awesome.
Really cool.
I enjoyed all the Titantron effects they did for it.
Yeah. You don't need a big Titantron screen to be straight dab in the middle.
I thought it was awesome when Hogan came out, how the WrestleMania logo actually changed colors.
Okay. Before we get to that tag team title match, let's talk about this. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys like the idea it was elimination better than it being singles, or would you probably want a little bit something more like a TLC match?
It got better towards the end when it was just the Usos and Real Americans.
Yeah.
I don't know why it wasn't just Usos Real Americans, because those were really the only ones who had a chance.
Why didn't the Matadores get DQ'd for using El Torito?
Fatal 4-way.
Because El Torito doesn't count for anything.
Oh, okay.
Fatal 4-way.
But it's still elimination.
Fatal 4-way.
Why did they get...
He's half a,
They
he's
were
half a
out.
person. He only
I think
has
they
to be.
think he's like Freebird, like he's part of the Freebird rules.
Free... Okay. Sure. I mean, the one spot I remember early on was Fernando and Diego spots to the outside. That's as far as I can remember from the beginning of that match, but everything else afterwards, it was kind of like once Ryback and Curtis got eliminated, things just picked up right afterwards.
Swagger's elimination of the Los Matadores was a 10 out of 10 elimination.
What do you do again?
He went for a top rope facebuster and immediately turned it midair into an ankle lock.
Yeah, that was very nice. What else you guys enjoy about it? Mike?
The diving spots, Cesaro's, just his strength in general. Man, superhuman.
And this is not
He's
the
like,
only
God.
time we're gonna see Cesaro on the show tonight.
Don't spoil it.
Spoilers.
I think Cesaro going forward had the best night of his WWE career. Easily.
But that's for later.
Yeah, that's for later. Usos win. This leads to a breakup between the Real Americans. As now, I want you guys to tell me what they said, because when I was watching the pre-show match, I was watching it through First Row, because I'm a fucking idiot and I don't want to buy the WWE Network.
Retard.
You guys,
dumb.
we all buy our pay-per-views.
Oh, and props to the WWE Network for apparently rave reviews that the network didn't have that too much problems during WrestleMania. It
I
looks
didn't
like
have any problems.
it looks
I
like
didn't have
the Hall of Fame prepared them for WrestleMania, I would say, because there were reports of it lagging a lot during the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there was like a lot more lag during the Hall of Fame. There was a lot. I will say this: I was on the Xbox 360. It's probably the worst of all of the platforms at the moment. The it is. I'm sorry, it is. But
Hear
it's
that,
also
Wesley?
the big
Xbox
screen.
sucks.
But the problem is that they had during the Hall of Fame last night is it would sit there with the little spinning icon as it was loading every so often. I never had that, but I did have spots where I lagged behind far enough that it all of a sudden kicked it forward 30 seconds, which I've seen on Twitch
Yeah.
before. So I saw that. But
Okay.
Otherwise, I mean, we were able to see the entire match, but nothing crashed or anything like that. And no, I can't connect anymore type stuff.
And I think that's going to be a big positive for WWE going forward. What?
Go, Wesley. If I may give my 2 cents here, I used my Xbox 360 tonight to watch the entirety of WrestleMania and had 0 problems. No lag, no timing out, no nothing. So, suck it, Greg.
Why is it not on the Xbox One, though?
I don't know.
They probably are making it right now.
They should hurry up.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So Real Americans break up. We have Swagger give Cesaro the ankle lock. Zeb breaks him up. Now, this is what I wanted to ask you guys. There was some talking between Zeb and Swagger when Zeb was telling him to stop. To me, it looked like Zeb was telling him to put the ankle lock on him. And then afterwards, he says,
What?
go and shake his hand. Am I seeing that
You
wrong?
are crazy.
Did I see that?
He was screaming at Jack to stop it.
Okay.
Stop
Like,
it.
yeah.
I was confused.
You hurt your brother.
The
Not how a real American pays.
The lag was definitely disrupting what thought I saw, but I wasn't too sure. So that ends up Cesaro hitting the Cesaro swing onto Swagger, and crowd pops
He hits.
because we didn't have a swing before during the tag match. I think they were about to put it on one of the Usos or one of the Matadors, and it stopped. And I was surprised that they didn't do the swing, but this makes sense now.
Yeah, the Uso. I think it was with the Usos, and he twisted and got out of it.
Yeah. So now Cesaro's on his own.
Maybe.
Happy as can be. He did the. I think they all did a big "We the People" chant. So maybe there's gonna be some fight over Zeb before Zeb turns on Cesaro completely. Maybe. Okay.
Okay.
This is where you talk when it's silent. You talk.
Oh, shut, Mike. I would think Zeb would stick with Cesaro because Cesaro's the one who has the best chance of getting the main event, but doesn't have mic skills. Jack Swagger, they can let him hang around mid card. Cesaro needs every opportunity he can to get over.
And also, Zed probably should see that Swagger's the one that caused all the problems. He was angry too much. He ignored Zeb too much.
Yeah, but that gives the question: what are they going to do with Zeb then? Because I kind of don't see Zeb sticking with Cesaro, especially if
Breaks his face. Let's go. It's time.
it wouldn't. Oh man, the gimmick alone doesn't work. It was already kind of weird Cesaro joining the Real Americans when it first started. We got used to it so long because they really only explained it to the fact that Cesaro went the legal way of getting into our country, and that was it. And just playing off the fact that, this is it, you guys are going to have to deal with it, and it worked. So it's going to be weird if they just decide to keep Coulter with Cesaro. I think Cesaro's ready to kind of branch out on his own.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Like he doesn't have. At least as far as I know, he's not really that good on English. And I know he's good.
He's really good on English. I don't know. I mean,
not for WWE. He's not allowed. He's not allowed to boisterous enough for WWE.
I mean, he's not cutting.
But not here.
He's not cutting like Ambrose quality promos, but he has a good accent that's understandable, and I bet you with the right storyline or the right timing, he could probably cut some interesting promos. But that's just me. But I think we should move on to the actual show.
Because keep in mind, this was pre-show.
Yeah, this was just all pre-show. This was a 2-hour pre-show that we had. I think a lot of us sat through. Going into the actual show, we got a segment I completely missed because I decided to go to Subway.
Oh my god.
And while I was Subway, my friend calls me, and he's like, "Get over here. Austin and The Rock are in the ring." I'm like, bullshit. Just you're trying to make me rush. I'm trying to get my fucking sandwich. Let me do this in my piece. Like, no, they're on. He sends me a Snapchat. They're on the fucking. I start speeding. I am speeding back to his house with my fucking sandwich. Oh yeah, we do not condone the.
We don't condone that.
We don't condone half the things Greg does.
And we don't condone interrupting a Cuban while he's getting his Cuban done.
Okay.
Okay.
So I would like for you guys to talk about this segment. What was this all about? What was Hogan, The Rock, and Austin doing in the ring?
Okay, I watched it. I'll go over it real quick. Hogan comes out first, introduced as the host of WrestleMania. He goes into, the talk about the show. Basically the same thing that he did back on Raw. Stone Cold comes, the crash is heard, Stone Cold comes out. Stone Cold talks about the fact that, Hogan was the first wave of WrestleMania, and without him, there wouldn't be a WrestleMania and stuff like that. And basically was complimenting him. And the way Stone Cold does. Rock then comes out. He compliments both of them, and basically all three end up basically saying, "We're the previous generations of WrestleMania. Now it's time for the new people to take over." It's really what they were trying to do with the segment. And then Austin broke out the beers, and everybody drank a beer.
That
So-
timekeeper is really good at throwing beer.
Oh yeah.
And Austin was missing the beers. The guy was on target with the beers.
And I had no idea they were in this Silver Dome.
Yeah.
Silver Dome,
That's right.
brother.
Brother, this thing is how great it's back to be.
Calling it Silverdome until the crowd corrected him, and then Austin came out, and when he said he was, instead of saying the Superdome, he said the Silverdome and got Hogan to laugh, and then The Rock did it too and got them all to laugh, and they were all laughing about the fact
Yeah, pretty much.
screwed it up at the beginning.
Pretty much the whole planning process of that segment was you three get in the ring. That's the WrestleMania moment.
It sounds
And
like
it was.
okay. Well, here's a couple two cents. One, this entire show felt like it was trying to usher in a new era. There was a lot of moments where a lot of end of the era talk, and I mean, and they were really trying to push it. But one of the things that bothered me was them trying to create WrestleMania moments. And I'm not saying that in the way like, some of what, happened during the show, but like, there was a segment later on in the show where they said, and how do you take that as a WrestleMania moment? And I'm like, creating a moment like that is very organic. It's something that needs to, when you try to force it down people's throat, when you're trying to get people talking, it's very awkward. And that's what it felt like throughout most of the show. I think a lot of segments kind of came off as a little passing of the torch, but, hey, we're about to do something different. Keep your eyes on it.
Yeah, they were forcing the issue on that. They really were.
Yeah.
And after every match, whoever won the match, they kept saying, "Oh, it's their WrestleMania moment. Oh, it's their WrestleMania." They were really pushing it, and I agree with you.
Did you have a
didn't notice
WrestleMania moment tonight?
It's not like JR who could live in the moment. By God, this is the greatest thing we've ever seen. And he's, with the words and how he puts them together. But they're trying to create moments in the future now. And it was just something that was bothering me. He's like, let these things develop on their own into a moment, Let's not force it onto people to create it as a moment.
There were a couple that I would call moments that did actually occur, but they were forcing it on every single match.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is.
What else is new? The commentary guys don't know how to commentary.
And I'm hoping tomorrow that maybe we're gonna see some signs that that either JR or maybe JBL, their time is coming up as a regular commentator. Or I mean, not JR, JBL. I'm sorry, JBL or Jerry Lawler. Yeah.
King.
Open your mind to mush.
Anyways, let's get into our first match of the night. I'm very surprised this was the first match until the commentators decided, hey, we're going to tell you why this is the first match of the night. Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. Commentators already dig into people's mind that the reason why this was put into first match of the night is if Triple H wins, he wants to be rested and ready for the main event. So I'm kind of glad at this point that this was probably the first match. Triple H comes out. Reminds me of his WrestleMania 25 entrance when he came out on the big 22.
The last one, yeah.
When he came out on the big throne, he had some blonde females who were Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Alexa Bliss from NXT. They were. It took me a while. Like I couldn't recognize Alexa Bliss or Charlotte, but once I saw Sasha's fucking Snoop Dogg mouth, I was like, "Oh, there it is. There's Sasha." So it has to be the other two. Okay.
It was Charlotte's jaw and Sasha's mouth. It was like, I know these, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the only one I could tell was Charlotte because of her jerk face.
So Triple H's entrance was really cool. Stephanie looked like a hooker tonight.
With those short shorts.
Oh man, she looked 20 years younger, but I'm not sure in the good or bad way.
In the bad way.
She looked prime. I could fuck that.
It
But
looked like she needed a riding crop to go with the outfit.
Great,
Whoa.
Caveat.
Whoa.
You want to bang anything.
man,
So-
let's be honest. The WWE picked some hot
He wants
women.
no. Wait, he doesn't. He wants to bang everything except for Naito.
Yeah.
NATO's a fucking troll. It looks like he's asking
God.
for a cock to
No,
get
WrestleMania.
shoved down his.
Yeah,
Okay,
WrestleMania. Let's
back to
get on
WrestleMania. How'd you guys like Daniel Bryan and Triple H? Let's hear from Jonesy first. Jonesy.
I was a fan of it. It was alright. Maybe 4 out of 5.
Good 4 out of 5. John, any take on Daniel Bryan and Triple H?
It was, pretty good. Wasn't expecting so much.
Any good spots that you remember?
I remember all the fucking counters of the pedigrees.
Oh yes.
Fuck your finisher, Triple H. I remember Triple H putting on the yes lock on Bryan not once but twice, and nobody going yes lock.
Oh, it was the
crossface.
it was the crossface.
Yeah, but the yes lock is the
Triple H
crossface.
No, it's not.
It's actually two different things.
The yes lock has the hammer lock, but Brian sometimes fucks it up.
No, you fucked it up so many times tonight. Then
The
Yeah,
crossface, you just locked the was it the
Arm.
left arm between the legs? The yes lock, you're supposed to bend the arm backwards to put more strain on the shoulder. I think that's how it works. Also, Triple H used the crossface chicken wing. I kind of marked out a little bit for that.
always mark out for the crossface chicken wing.
Yeah.
Why is that not used more?
Man, Brian was just kicked the fucking shit out of during this. He was
This whole night.
he was taking some sick fucking like spine buster. He was getting thrown like a fucking ragdoll out
Oh,
there.
he did that. He did the senton bomb.
Oh yeah, that
The
was
one that
fucking.
looked like it broke his leg for a second.
Yeah.
Mike, what'd you think?
Triple H trying to work over the left side of his body was a nice touch.
Oh
Still working
yeah.
on the leg, don't work in the leg and then work in the arm.
Clean match though. Very surprised to that fact.
It would have been better if it was a no DQ match.
Would have?
It tells the story better.
No, they told the story very well.
Yeah, I thought it
Triple H
was.
went back-
I thought it was a
Triple H went back
very
to being
strong.
Tribal Assassin, and he just worked over kept on working the arm that he already injured, and kept on working it.
Then
And
went to the
set it
leg.
up for the leg. Right.
I think it was one of the better matches of the night. The idea behind the Cerebral Assassin was great. I think Stephanie on the outside actually added to the match, which was was a surprise to me. Actually, I thought she would detract from it, but she actually added to it with her yelling in Daniel Bryan's face constantly during those cross faces and things. And seriously, I thought it was at least 4.5 out of 5 match in my opinion.
Very nice. Man, I don't know. I wish I would remember more, but since I've gotten home, all I've been thinking about is something else that's happened on this
Right.
card. So,
Which
Daniel-
we will not mention until later.
yeah, Daniel Bryan wins, nails the knee to the head, out of fucking nowhere.
He's a knee plus player.
But Triple H attacks him. Stephanie comes into the ring after Bryan wins, slaps him,
Multiple
taunting
slaps.
him.
Slaps.
Collapse! My God!
And then Triple H came out, took him out, fucking nails his arm with his shoulder with the steel chair in the corner, and the trainers come to go check on him. As we move on to our next match,
I personally thought it was match of the night.
really,
Yeah.
I would give it a 4.5 out of 5.
I mean, there was no Tokyo Dome.
I guess what
I think it was-
I guess what everyone was expecting, like it kind of surpassed that, you know.
did you expect a longer match?
No,
No.
I expected a more
Mm.
power-based match. If that,
That
makes
was long.
sense.
That was the
With
longest
a-
match of the night, by the way.
Yeah,
What'd you say, John?
I mean, like,
It was the longest match of the night.
Was it? It was like close to 30 minutes.
It was. Hang on, I will go back and check now.
but you think Triple H, you don't think him whittling down someone with submission maneuvers and stuff. You think of him spine buster and power-based moves.
Oh yeah, I definitely think Triple H was trying to get on Bryan's level on some of those
he's trying to beat
parts
him
of
at
that
his
match.
own game.
Yeah,
There
and
was,
I think
there
that was very
no
good
high-
for Triple H to do that.
There was no high knee, by the way, from Triple H in that.
I know, I was waiting for that, and I was kind of pissed off that didn't happen.
I think you're sort of just remembering this, like, newer Triple H who was just sort of left ring psychology out the window. Like, old Triple H, yeah, this is the kind of match he works.
But I mean, it just surprised me, and it exceeded my expectations. So
Very cool.
It was a 26-minute match.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Next match on the night.
Real quick, I'm seeing something from the chat I want to say. Actually, he was channeling Shao Kahn. I agree with him. It looked a lot like Shao Kahn. But,
Oh, gosh.
but realize what was happening when that match was going on. What was about to happen on HBO, Game of Thrones. That's what the homage was really to.
Ah.
Oh my god.
Damn it, Wesley. I just completely. All I've been thinking about is WrestleMania. I've been waiting for those podcasts to happen. I've been making sure everything was ready and things were
Yeah.
good. And Game of Thrones happened tonight, too.
You know what, guys? It really is a nice day for a red wedding.
Oh, shut up, Wesley. Okay,
Everyone died.
Okay, enough of that.
God.
That was-
Can we get back to wrestling?
next match on the card, we had. Wow. The Shield versus Kane and the New Age Outlaws representing
3
the
minutes.
Authority.
3 minutes.
That
Let me
happened.
tell
3
you.
fucking
It
minutes.
was.
Rick's warning.
Oh, good.
Was this
Trash
just.
match?
Was this just to put the Shield over?
Yep.
I guess.
I think it was to put the New Age Outlaws to pasture, is what I think it might have been.
They were showcasing some new merchandise, which kind of gives the hint that they may be around a little bit longer as a stable babyface stable than we expect them to be.
To be honest,
Yeah, like, actually in the pre-show, like, they all were wearing shield tank tops. Seth was wearing a Shield hat, and Dean was wearing a Shield sweatshirt. And then they come out and debut the new bandanas.
They looked like the Bullet
It was
Club.
definitely shilling the match.
I thought they looked like fucking aces and eights with those face masks.
Yeah, I'm a Jonesy on
the
this one.
Shield are joining the Bullet Club. Oh no, it's Styles.
I was kind of expecting Devitt to just kind of come in and just take over,
Actually,
and then you get the real split. Anyways,
all that stuff will show
Apparently
up on the
Billy
top from
Gunn-
tomorrow, man.
yeah, Billy
Apparently
Gunn
Billy Gunn
got
Hey, you
injured.
talk.
Billy Gunn got injured apparently during the very cool spot at the end of the match, the double power bomb, where Roman Reigns, with the help from Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, power bombed both Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, and apparently Gunn started coughing up blood.
Rest in peace, Guns liver. Dead by a power.
If Billy Gunn wouldn't have got hurt, that match probably would have went a lot longer.
Probably.
No.
No, because that was the finish.
No. I think the internal bleeding probably happened to get the spear. That's when he got screwed up.
No, they said it happened
Oh.
after the power bomb.
Oh,
Because
did it?
Yeah.
that's still
At the very end of the match, Billy sustained a powerbomb maneuver. After that maneuver, he started to develop hypophysis. I'm probably saying that, which is a medical term for coughing up blood. We brought him back and evaluated him immediately. Checked his oxygen, checked his blood pressure. Everything was stable. We got some X-rays on his chest, which did not show any evidence of a collapsed lung. So our diagnosis right now is that he most likely ruptured a small blood vessel that caused bleeding to the airways and
Subsequently,
Yeah.
subsequently,
Man, shut up, Wesley. Coughing up blood. So, Billy Gunn, 50 years old. Should he been in that match?
no.
No.
He's been fine every other match. It's a power bomb. It's gonna.
He
suck.
looks-
Same thing happened to The Rock.
Billy and Road Dogg, while they wrestle really well for people their age, Billy always kind of looks winded after a match.
He
He's
looks winded
always
before a
looked that
match.
way.
That's just his face.
He always looks winded after a match.
Because he always is winded.
That's my secret.
Cold.
Keep it secret.
Cold.
Keep it safe.
But 3-minute match. Do you guys remember any actual spots besides that finish?
Kane was in the ring for like 3 seconds and then got speared.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
glorious.
They destroyed him.
It was pretty much Roman Reigns the show, and that's so every signature he hit.
Kane had a cool
Multiple
entrance though.
Oh yeah, how they kind of laid out the entrances. The Outlaws were talking and got interrupted very quickly by the Shield, which led to Kane coming out a little bit after once the Shield made it down closer to the ring. Very cool setup. But the match, very lackluster.
Yeah.
Well, you don't
Yeah.
expect much from a 3-minute match.
Yeah.
It's like I expected it to be average. I didn't expect it to be 3 minutes.
I think a lot of people were kind of expecting a longer match in general. I think a lot of people were expecting it to open up WrestleMania.
I was.
And it was essentially a squash match at that.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with the Shield in the coming months. Maybe we'll get a second hand at the Wyatts versus Shield again.
Oh my god. You get a no DQ match. Extreme Rules. Let's make this happen, guys.
Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Everybody who's under contract except for JTG made it into this goddamn Battle Royal. Especially Yoshitatsu, who was the first one out.
He was out like in 5 seconds.
Yoshi had his
And-
WrestleMania moment.
And pops in Zack Ryder, your last resort paid off.
Yeah, you're going to WrestleMania.
And he got destroyed too.
The entire time, I think ever since they announced the match, they've been building it up that Big Show is going to win. That was kind of what everybody was thinking. It could be Big Show, maybe Ziggler, or
Maybe Miz.
maybe Sheamus, but WWE was booking it that it was going to be Big Show. And
Son.
surprise,
Kofi didn't get eliminated on his first try.
oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
really fucking cool. Kofi gets thrown off the top rope, or gets thrown over the top rope,
Yeah, he gets thrown
Over the corner.
Yeah.
and
Balls.
he falls down to the bottom, and his feet land on the last step of the steel steps outside.
I think he was supposed to land feet first on the steps.
Oh yeah, he definitely botched it, and it made it cooler.
That was
Yeah.
not going to happen, him landing it.
He would have broken his legs if he landed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He would have been walking out of there.
but I think that made for a way cooler moment.
It also
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
contrived, like all.
Yeah, it wasn't contrived. Yeah.
Contrived.
Contrived.
There's a tree in there?
Weird.
Guys, let's put OU in the word color.
Fuck you. Fuck you. English language is for the American language.
That I was disappointed. I will say this: I was disappointed in the fact that Miz was eliminated by the damn Cobra.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Rest in peace, Mrs. WrestleMania
And he
Street.
sold it exactly like he would sell Big Show's knockout punch.
Yeah, exactly.
But one thing that happened at this Battle Royal was that 3MB eliminated 2 people.
Yeah, they
Yes.
did. Yeah.
Baby!
Until Big Show eliminated all 3
Mark
of them.
Henry. Mark Henry did.
Oh, Mark Henry did. Yeah, that's right.
But then it's Mark Henry, so that's not exactly, you know. He didn't go out to
They
fucking.
did, but they did do they did do better than I expected that they would do there. And I noticed that once it was down to about 6 people, and we noticed we haven't even mentioned the guy who actually won the thing. But when it was down to 6 people, they let all of those 6 people do their spots.
Yeah.
All
But yeah, we had the Rey Mysterio going everywhere and 619ing everyone.
We had the Ziggler fucking murdering everyone with DDTs.
I think
Yeah,
it
Big
was a
Show
very.
walking.
I think
Kofi did at
overall,
least troublesome.
I think overall the battle
Well,
royal was very enjoyable.
Well,
And the
before
surprise,
Hey
Wait.
Mike, one at a time.
Mike, what were you
I
gonna say?
stopped, you moron. Go, Dave.
the surprise, the surprise entrant that none of us expected, really.
Oh,
Cesaro.
fucker.
Where was Rusev, by the way?
oh.
Where was Rusev, by the way?
Oh yeah, everybody predicting Rusev was gonna win, and he wasn't even there.
I was the one that predicted Rusev out of our group to win. Okay,
I
he
think
wasn't even in the match.
I predicted Brad Maddox, and he came sucking in, went out second.
Oh man, I was so sad.
Speaking of murdering, Del Rio kicking Ziggler right in the face.
Oh,
And then he
While
just
he was
said
trying to-
arrows.
While he was
Guy.
hitting the cat.
Guys, you're forgetting the best part. David Otunga.
Oh yeah, he was in
Getting
there.
eliminated.
Who would have
He-
seen
he
that
has-
coming? We
he
forgot.
hasn't
Everyone
been
forgot about
wrestled in-
David Otunga.
He hasn't even wrestled in the past year. He makes it to WrestleMania.
And he gets eliminated.
And JTG still doesn't.
Cesaro wins. We haven't mentioned him barely.
Because he didn't
We're
pop up.
letting you build up.
He didn't pop up till the last 5, and then everyone fucking died.
They were about to turn on Big Show at that point when it was just Show
Yeah.
and Cesaro. You heard the crowd starting up, and if that match would have gone the other way, Big Show would have been looking
No,
a little bit
Big-
weak.
I think they started hinting that they might get angry with the match when Ziggler got eliminated.
Oh yeah.
Because nobody had
I Del
really,
Rio too.
nobody had really paid attention that Cesaro was even in the match.
Cesaro didn't really make an impact until that, like I said, the last 5 or 6, and then it was like, oh crap, he is still there. And then at the end, and I'll say it if nobody else will, he picks up Big Show, walks 4 steps, and then throws him over.
Where were
Oh.
you, brother?
Where were you?
When the Cesaro picked up the 3 trillion ton Big Show and power slammed it over the top rope in front of the 8 trillion Cesaro maniacs, brother.
Oh my god.
Where were you, brother?
That is a WrestleMania moment.
That was awesome.
Yes.
That was a great tribute.
10 out of 10.
We the people?
So Cesaro wins. He gets this big motherfucking trophy. Over, I think they said up to 100 pounds of this Andre the Giant trophy.
And he just
Yeah.
picked it up.
He just fucking deadlifts it.
Yep.
It requires 6 people to lift it into the ring
Yeah.
5.
by himself.
He just easily picks it up.
Buried
It
the
was
refs.
like YOLO.
Next match, guys.
Oh god. Next match.
Next match
No,
was, man, John Cena versus Bray Wyatt.
Let's start off with the best thing ever.
Let's start with the fact that Wyatt's entrance, while confusing, awesome.
Why was,
It wasn't
Voodoo,
confusing.
why was that
Voodoo.
confusing?
It's voodoo.
It's voodoo, but Wyatt's never done anything voodoo. It's like
Well,
would be
he's
cool if
supposed
they-
to be out of.
started doing it now. What are you gonna say, Jonesy?
I'll say, aren't they supposed to be from Louisiana?
Yeah, they're also from Louisiana, and they're also creepy cultists from the woods.
Also, Bray Wyatt is a demon inhabiting someone's body.
I know.
Okay, yeah.
I think he's level inhabiting somebody's body at this point. We're not sure on that one.
Angel, demon, same thing. Different
Okay,
color.
so like, the one spot you can use Papa Shango,
Yeah.
and they don't use him.
Don't even get me started on that.
God damn it, Barrett! Stop making us happy.
Just saying, they didn't use a lot of people during this show.
Yeah, I think a lot of the talk about them bringing a bunch of people, I felt very underwhelmed by the amount of people that actually showed up. I was quite underwhelmed by the fact that there wasn't a lot of backstage segments. I was kind of
There
expecting
haven't been a backstage segment since like 26.
27.
They had a little one. They didn't have a huge one. They had a little one.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
advertising
well.
Slam City, but they
Oh, what's his face? Did he say Shit City?
No.
I swear to fucking God, I can't remember who was in that damn fucking promo, but one of them when saying
Hacksaw Jim Duggan,
Sergeant Slaughter.
and
Ricky
Ricky
Steamboat.
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 $1 Million Man.
It
the
was
ref?
one of them. Oh yeah, I didn't know who the ref was.
Dangerous Danny Davis.
Okay.
Wow.
There we go. One of them said Shit City. I fucking knew it. I said it when it fucking happened. I was like, did he just fucking say Shit City?
I think Steamboat said it. But fucking that Ted DiBiase cameo was just...
It's DBRC. Say it with me.
DBC.
DBC? Wait, what? How do you say it, John?
He said the boss. He said the bossy.
Debauchy.
Diabetes.
Okay,
John, if you throw a couple of O's and U's in there, you might be able to say it correctly.
John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Let's talk about this fucking match. Wesley.
I loved it. I thought it was great. Like, there were some spots where I was like, okay, you know, this is really starting to worry me, because I was like, I wanted Bray Wyatt to win, because I really wanted, because that would have cemented him as, like, you know, he took out the top guy, the top face, and it would have just been like, he's literally cemented his status as, like, the Eater of Worlds and as this dangerous monster that just comes out of the dark and just out of nowhere.
Can I just say, my other pick for WrestleMania moment is Bray Wyatt turning his back on Cena
Oh my
to look
god.
at the crowd, and they're all singing he's got the whole world in his hands.
Oh my god.
He just starts conducting them.
Oh yeah. Oh. And the scary John Cena turns around and Bray Wyatt's doing the spider thing. That scared me to death.
Cena like jumped like 50 feet in the air when he saw that.
Yeah, Cena was about to deliver the 5-knuckle shuffle, and then he comes off the ropes and just, and then the next time, and then when he actually hits the 5-knuckle shuffle, he doesn't even run; he just stands and does it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to walk away from him.
There was. Oh yeah, Dave, go.
There's two things in this match that got me. One, the voice of Reeveson being the ref.
Yeah, you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this, Cena. Don't do it.
It's like,
This isn't you.
It's like Jiminy Cricket next to Pinocchio, you know, talking. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. You know. And I have to say, I liked it when Cena put Harper through
It was Harper.
the barricade. Yeah, through the barricade. That was
That's good.
The Harper.
I thought we were getting like a Cena turn halfway through the match when he started to go crazy.
Yeah, that was the whole story of the match.
Yeah,
I think it died out because of one of the problems that they had maybe with that is I don't think the fans couldn't hear what Wyatt was what Bray was talking about the entire match, and I think us that were watching it away from there figured out what was going on, and we were going like, "Ooh, will Cena actually, snap?" And that's what he's trying to get them to do. Whereas the crowd, they're like, "Whatever."
yeah, there was a story that I think the match itself was good for the fact that there was a story. There was something on the line. It didn't feel like it's a regular singles match. It felt very important, and I think I guess I'll just talk about the finale of this match. Cena won. Wyatt was gonna go for Sister Abigail, and Cena blocks it and hits the attitude just before the win.
Mind if I say something?
Yeah, Strike, go.
Anyone else think the match was kind of weirdly paced a little bit? Like, the match starts out, Cena is all angry face, and then you don't see his angry face at all for like 5 or 10, 15 minutes, and then he starts getting angry face like he's doubting himself again. Like, you think it would have been a gradual climb to that, but instead it's like, oh, hey, he's angry, now he's not.
Yeah, but I think I think Bray was the one who said, no, we're just going to speak it out, but I think Cena realized, wait, no one in the crowd besides the ones on TV are going to actually know what we're doing, so I have to really express it. And
I'm angry.
Yeah, but to do that right out of the gate,
There's won the WWE Championship. I'm angry. I'm a little girl.
Wow.
But
The bigger picture is Bray wanted Cena to finish him.
Oh yeah. Finish me, Joe! Finish me, Joe!
Show
It's
your
a-
true colors.
It sounded like a bad porno.
Finish on me. Finish on me.
We all know that Bray Wyatt's a power bottom.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the Bray bomb.
I don't know, man. I think he's more of a power top, John.
No, he works from the bottom.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Agree to disagree.
overall, Cena won. Man, I'm kind of disappointed by this fact. I kind of was really hoping for Bray to come out of this with a strong victory on his shoulders.
They raised the stakes way too high for Cena to lose.
No, I don't think so. Because nothing
He
was.
made it about his whole entire legacy and who he was.
They
But-
had a
but-
special song for him.
Let's talk about this. They've done that for the past 2 WrestleManias. Remember when he lost to The Rock and everything was on the line? He didn't lose anything. He just went back to the spot in Mania and won it again.
I know, but that was more of, I'm not better than The Rock. Well, crap.
I
I
just
said I
think
was better than Rock and I wasn't, darn.
I just think that this could have saved the Wyatts a lot of time. I think Bray going over Cena tonight would have saved them a lot of time to where they could have had a very strong match at SummerSlam. Now they're gonna
They
have
still
to.
can.
They still can, but like,
And they've got work to do to repair Bray.
yeah, and now we know.
Go to the summer though.
No, but that's the thing. Now we know the Wyatt's limits. The Wyatt's limit is Cena. So anything below Cena, the Wyatts could probably conquer. But anything above Cena, they're fucked. That's kind of what this match laid out. Like, there's a limit now to the Wyatts.
Not really.
Yes, really.
Well,
I mean-
it's easy booking for them to continue this. It's just that Bray has to say, I tried beating you mentally, and now I'm just going to beat you physically.
Okay,
That's it.
this is what I don't want. I don't want Wyatt coming back tomorrow night or in the next couple weeks, kind of squashing Kofi Kingston again. And they did this before. When was the last time Wyatt lost at a pay-per-view? In a singles. In a singles.
I don't think he's lost us.
He's never lost in a singles match before the night.
What? In a pay-per-view?
In a,
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan. Thank you.
He beat
No, he
Daniel
lost to
Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
He beat Daniel
He
Bryan.
beat Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
that was at
He wrestled.
Rumble. When was that victory that... No, what was that match that he lost? I'm trying to remember. There was a match that he lost in a singles back in, like, December or November that kind of screwed his momentum a little bit to where he
I'm
had to
checking.
start squashing Kofi every week. Or was that after? Or was that after his Kane match? It was something back early when he was debuted, where the match he had was very. It kind of killed his momentum a little bit, where he had to just squash a bunch of people week after week to kind of get somewhere. That's what I'm afraid this is going to turn into. A big loss from Cena. They're just going to have to rebuild Bray, and that's going to lead to just more weeks of just countless jobbing.
A loss to Cena is not a momentum killer. A lot of people lose to Cena.
Dolph Ziggler.
No.
Ryback.
Damian Sandow.
It's the booking that happens afterwards.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's my fucking problem. No one has survived.
They're not gonna drop Bray like they did Sandow.
Or Ziggler.
They
Or Cesaro, actually, for that matter.
remember there is a point where the Shield was constantly in the main event at the pay-per-view, and then they kind of started going after the tag titles and
they needed to drop to have any longevity.
got dropped. I'm afraid that the Wyatts after this is just gonna get dropped down the card for a little bit before they got something else planned.
What do
Not
they
while
have
Bray
now?
still
They have
has
nothing.
mouth.
I don't see what else they have unless they're just gonna continue on with Cena
Yeah,
Wyatt, like a rematch. A rematch doesn't seem right to me. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to wait. I'm very on the fence about this decision.
I do agree with you,
But they can't have Cena turn yet.
No,
And
they
that's
can't.
where the
It's
They're never gonna have him turn.
The way
Ever.
they set this match up, it wasn't the fact of who was going to win. It was going to be, does Cena turn? And the answer of that was, this
Nope.
time, no. And let me tell you, there's a little foundation that's on the side that will not let Cena turn until he starts dropping down in demand, and that's Make-A-Wish. And I hate to say it, but they're actually controlling Cena at this point in time, and how Cena's getting booked. So Cena would have been a great... I mean, Cena versus Bray is a great thing for WrestleMania, but unfortunately, the ultimate thing is Bray turning Cena, and that's not going to happen. So they need to move Bray to somebody else to take on somebody that will... But right now, I don't see very many people, except for going back to Daniel Bryan, that you're going to be sitting with.
Yeah.
So I understand your point, but I think the problem is that there's no other face besides Cena and Daniel Bryan right now that they could really take on. So they're going to end up going down, like you're predicting, just because there's no other competition at the moment.
That's a really good point. I don't know how to go after that because that's completely right. But that's all against WWE's booking. That's how they've been booking the past couple years. That they've focused on one man for so long, and they've forgotten that they have an entire roster and an entire product to take care of. And I think tomorrow is going to be very interesting for Raw because this entire WrestleMania seems like a closing. The closing of an era. The PG era.
Rip in peace.
Everything is
Attitude
done.
Era.
I mean, they closed so much, and we're going to talk about this with our next match. I think tomorrow's going to be very interesting, and I think tomorrow is really going to be a big clue of how WWE's going to approach the future.
I get to work tomorrow.
I would be
so I don't get to see it.
so ecstatic if they introduce a new Titantron, a new stage setup. Because if you're really and the logo, if you're really gonna usher in a new era, we need a new look. I think that's one thing. If you want me to believe that this is a new era, a new time in the WWE, make it look different. I don't want the same fucking people there. I want new faces, new storylines, new gimmicks, new everything. Rebrand this shit. Let's get the ball rolling with these young guys. They're all ready. Look at them. They're hungry fucking wolves. And they're ready to get
four
pushed.
Guys that are ready.
There's so many people who could be
We
ready.
need an Adam Rose entrance every week.
No.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
Wow,
Man.
hey!
Woo!
John, you remember that thing I linked you?
Oh yeah, we know that thing.
Oh yeah, that
No, you
thing.
don't.
You know, that thing with context.
Yeah,
I think we
that
should.
thing,
I can
man.
link it in-
How about,
Yeah.
besides talking about your dumb thing, let's talk about Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker.
Do less.
You
Let's
want me to be perfectly honest about this match?
hold on. Hold on.
Um,
We need to kind of just say it. The streak is over.
That's right. That's right. The Miz lost the WrestleMania.
I was in... It seemed like a dream when it happened. It was like an out-of-body experience.
Like, you could hear a pin drop in the stadium.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
That is the
I was
WrestleMania moment. Just
I
a
was just
crowd
staring at
of
Let's talk. Okay,
new.
let's talk about the
Okay.
match. Let's talk about the match.
extremely sloppy.
Extremely.
Extremely slow.
It was slow.
Boring.
It was kind of just a back and forth beatdown of one another, and kind of saying that Lesnar had a lot more of the upper hand in a lot of that match too. Taker was getting brutalized, but in a very awkward way, to where Taker looked like he was selling so well it could have been legit. The jabs
Apparently
Taker
it was legit.
the jabs Taker was taking when Lesnar was just working him hard when he was sitting on the ropes. I mean, everything from start to finish, seemed off. The referee of this match, I don't know who the fuck he is. He looks like someone I recognize, but I don't
Was it
fucking
Asian
know.
ref?
No, it wasn't Asian ref. He wasn't. He looked like one of the regular refs, but kind of not.
Well, he better be. He's working WrestleMania.
But first of all, he doesn't count. When the bell rings, they pretty much are outside of the ring in about 5 minutes. And while they are outside of the ring, the ref does not count them out once. He's telling them, get back in the ring, get back in the ring. And I still see one fucking finger up in the air.
Greg,
And I'm waiting. I'm fucking waiting for him to fucking count. And I'm yelling at the goddamn TV. Count, you piece of shit!
Greg, I'll let you in on an industry secret I learned. The rules are only what the refs are told they are.
No, I don't think that, because the referee...
And he's just not going to count.
Because the referee
They've done this
fucked...
before.
No, they
in
haven't.
many matches.
No,
Yes,
they
they have.
haven't.
Why?
They were outside of the... At least, he didn't count one. That's my thing. He didn't count them out at all. He didn't say anything. For 5 fucking minutes straight, while they were outside of the goddamn ring, he did not say a damn word. Just telling them to get back into the ring.
I think it has to do with the referee just having the old adage of let them brawl and then just let them go at it.
But it...
Because
My-
it
Are you
happens
gonna
a
count
lot.
them out?
My thing is...
Did you want it to end in a double count out?
No.
Yes, that's what it would have been.
My thing was, it didn't look like the ref had control of that match. The match seemed so sloppy, so uncoordinated. Like, it didn't seem like Lesnar or Taker had any... Coordinated, sorry. It didn't seem like Taker or Lesnar had any idea what they were going to do in that ring. I mean, there were some spots that kind of went by. A lot of those... They repeated the Hell's Gate spot twice. Which was
F5 off the old
That made
school.
no sense.
which
Made no
was
sense.
Taker locks in the Hell's Gate and Lesnar just deadlifts him, and they did it twice in a fucking row, mind you. There
They
was
did it 3 times. They did it 3 times in the Triple H.
nothing seemed right about this match. The referee was off. The pacing.
I think the moment Undertaker got hit the first time, he immediately was winded. I think the fact was just Undertaker. I honestly wonder, and I'll be honest with you guys, when I saw this match, I thought Undertaker may have told Lesnar at one point in time, "We're switching the results. You're going to beat me."
No.
I know. I'm
Undertaker
serious.
would never do that. Undertaker would
was
never
in
fucking...
trouble, and it was very obvious to me.
I-
He was in trouble.
I think we need.
I-
I think we need to wait for confirmed results. By the fact that there are some rumors going on as we speak right now, which is about 2 hours after the WrestleMania. There were rumors floating around that Taker was sent to the hospital. Rumors. That's what I emphasize on. We
Rumors
don't
saying that
fucking
Brock
know.
and Vince both went with him to the hospital.
Yeah, they're saying
So
both
we
Brock
wouldn't-
and Vince left.
So
There's a-
the last half an hour, hour to half an hour, would have been a Vinceless show.
Oh my god, that makes so much fucking sense now.
The rumor that I saw a few minutes ago said somebody saw Taker tell Brock before the third F5. The quote was, "This time it's it," or something to that effect, and that's why the pinfall counted. So somebody is saying Brock changed the finish. Taker was supposed to go over, but Brock changed the finish, and people are saying that Taker changed the finish before the third F5.
See, I think that he changed it before that third F.
I'm just gonna-
I'm one of those that believe that. At this
I'm
point.
just gonna time out right there. There is no chance in hell that happened. Taker is not. He is not gonna end his legacy just because he's hurt. Stone Cold broke his neck in a match and won.
Well, considering The Undertaker has wanted the streak to end for the past decade and a half, I'm inclined to believe it. He wanted.
No.
There's a report.
Why
that
would
said
a consummate professional end his streak? Because just no, that's just stupid.
you tell the man that then if that
You're a
happened.
mark.
I think here's the thing.
Your name's Mark Madden.
We need more information, and I hate to say it, but we're not gonna know jack shit until Raw.
And then there's the other. This is my opinion. I think Undertaker just didn't want to kick out after the third F5. He just said to himself, "Screw it, done. I'm not kicking out."
There was a
There's
long.
That definitely would.
Oh.
There
There's
was
another rumor saying that he wanted to end the streak so he could have a clean slate against Sting.
no. That wouldn't make sense.
The rumor is somebody says people are saying that the Undertaker's going to try to announce his retirement tomorrow. Sting's going to come out and say,
Well, no, that's not a rumor.
That's you
That's
face
what
me.
they want.
"Well, whatever."
For it to be rumor, there would have to be some basis to it.
They're saying Taker. They want Taker to come out and try to announce his retirement. Sting comes out and says, "No, not to their match." That sets up WrestleMania 31. This is where you talk.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm so completely lost for words by the fact that this has ended, and the fact that the streak isn't gonna be used in any more interesting ways, except now it's Brock Lesnar, who's not gonna be on TV every week to gloat about him beating the Undertaker. He's not gonna be able to, have fun with the urn or scream to the heavens the fact that Brock Lesnar beat the Undertaker. Heyman's gonna scream the fact that Brock Lesnar beat the Undertaker, but
Can we say something about Heyman?
that he's
Him
just the
going
best fucking
crazy.
manager in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Even he was surprised. Like, that wasn't how it was supposed to end.
There's just too much that's off about this win, and I think there's too
So many
many
questions.
conflicting reports, too many questions, and it's gonna take weeks for us to get any idea of how this was to come out. But I think on that note, we should probably, unless you guys have any more.
Can I say something?
Yeah, okay. Strike, go first.
This was my low point of the night. Like, my most disappointing match. Like, I expected a little bit more from it, and it just kind of disappointed me. So, it was pretty much my worst match on the card.
Okay, John.
You could. Okay, Jonesy, go.
No, John.
I got
We'll
4
get-
points
I'll go
to make.
first. Yeah.
I've got 4 points to make, and I'll do them quick.
All right, go ahead.
Reason why there's another reason why this all falls off. Not once during the build to this match did they ever make Brock Lesnar look legitimately
Oh,
threatening.
yeah. It's just everything about this, from start to finish, from the first time they met to just this ending, it's disappointing. It's weird. Nothing is coming together. The pieces don't fit. I don't know.
The second point is then it feels really slow because everyone wanted I don't know why everyone really expected a high impact match.
Everyone wanted a shooting star press.
I wanted a brawl.
I think we just expected more from it than...
I kind of wanted a brawl more than a beatdown. I was kind of expecting some back and forth, some interesting. Like, they couldn't even give us old school. Like
There was not even a yes/no spot.
yeah,
They
it
just
was.
punched each other.
And it fell flat at the end. The surprise was so. It took people a while to realize that the match was over.
The way I look at it, something was growing on with that match. I think, though, from people I've already been talking to on Skype and stuff, the biggest disappointment that it was Lesnar that ended it. I think that's actually factoring into some of this as well from even you guys, that it doesn't feel like Lesnar deserved to be the one to do it. And yet,
As a kayfabe
now
standpoint,
he is.
as like a
Yeah.
kayfabe standpoint, he's probably the strongest person to take him down.
Yeah.
Outside of maybe John Cena, But
Yeah.
But Ah, man, I don't know.
Can I say my small bullet point now?
Yeah, Jonesy.
I've never been more shocked by an ending in my life.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I've seen retirements. I've seen death. This is like the moment that I just
I was
can't believe it.
speechless.
I was just
after...
staring at my screen the whole time it was happening.
My mouth, I couldn't close my
Yeah.
mouth for a good 10
Mouth was
minutes.
just- my jaw was all the way to the floor.
I was sitting here with my buddy Ray watching it, and halfway through, we literally turned to each other and said, "This is Undertaker's last match." We guessed at about halfway through that this is it. He's going to lose the streak, and I think that probably has I think that reduces the shock for me because I saw it coming at that point in time. I saw that something was wrong. That something was wrong. It may have been with Undertaker. I don't, like I said, I think he. That's why I keep saying that I think he changed the ending, and I don't think anybody was. I think Undertaker changed the ending. Now, whether or not he did it on purpose or accident or whatever, we'll find out later. But I think when I noticed that the match seemed to change right about then in my mind, and like I said, we looked at each other and we said, "This is it. He's going to get beat." And sure enough, Lesnar beats him. Everybody in the arena shocked. All you guys were shocked. Everything like that. But I think I had a little bit of time more than you guys did, knowing that it was probably coming at that point.
Like,
Yeah, I think like the only person in the wrestling world who was making a single noise at that point was Heyman going, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did it."
even the commentary, the commentary team was like speechless.
Okay,
They
yeah,
were
can we talk
speechless for the
about
next 3 matches for like until the ending.
how awful the commentary was during that match?
Can we talk about... it was... Can we talk about... We'll talk about commentators on the next match, because...
The Undertaker entrance.
Before we move on, another podcast just said that part of the rumors with Undertaker going to the hospital are concussions.
Yeah, I was about to say
and heart
that.
problems.
I was about to say that there was talk about a possible concussion. Hacksaw Jim Duggan tweeted that Taker may be hurt. Hope not. #WrestleMania. So
Well, they also said exhaustion and heart problems.
I haven't seen those. I have seen the concussion report though.
Concussions can lead to heart problems.
Can we talk about something a bit more positive about the Undertaker thing, and then talk about how awesome his entrance was?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
It was awesome.
And how they conveniently made one of the flashback videos last just long enough to skip by CM Punk's cough.
Well, it wasn't long enough to skip past CM Punk, though, because they still
I
showed
thought
CM
clearly.
Punk's... Yeah, you
It was a split second where you could see his name. Though.
No, I
that
saw it for a
was
solid 5 seconds.
yeah, but you could see that now.
Yeah, it was on there fast enough for people to screenshot it.
It also wasn't like fucking number 3 was, where you couldn't see his name at all.
You can see half the names because of the.
Yeah, but you saw CM Punk's name, so it doesn't
Yeah.
I
mean
saw
that.
Giant Gonzalez's
Yep.
name.
Oh god, that was scary.
When they got to that point in the lineup, they intentionally made the video longer.
They didn't.
Like you were seeing flashback.
I think you're crazy.
I think you're just trying to look for something. I think you're like, goddamn Twitter.
No,
Black
you
helicopters, Michael.
the videos were lasting long enough to where you could see each coffin in between them.
No, you couldn't. No, that's the thing. Though.
There's a couple of them I couldn't see.
Yeah, that's
You couldn't see 10 through 15.
But then you got to the point of Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and the video just kept going on. It was like, oh man, this is going on a little bit longer than the rest. So
Okay.
Again, I want to say that I'd rather have this entrance combined with the one from last year and had that all in last year. Just 20 coffins, 10 on each side. Undertaker walks out of the pit of hands. In the middle of the ramp is the coffin for Punk. That would have been so cool last year.
Can we also say this is the return of Hat Taker?
Hat Taker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hat
that's
Taker
why.
was
That's
the
why.
best Taker.
That's why he had concussions. Didn't have his protective hood on.
Why did he look like a country music singer tonight?
Because he had the red leather on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and before we move on to the next match, can I say how unbelievably dead this crowd was?
No, you can't.
Well, because you're crazy, sure.
Okay, during
This crowd was
during-
lackluster. It's whatever.
during the match, it was very dead. There were points where you saw that the crowd was trying to get back into it, that they were trying to cheer on Taker, but they weren't getting the match that they wanted, and that was kind of the vibe I was getting from the crowd that night. That during that match, that they weren't getting the Taker match they wanted, and then the finish
Well, it was
happened,
just a
and
bad match, so
holy
it's-
shit!
Everything died.
Let's
Like,
move
you
on.
could tell those weren't even
Um,
plants they went to. That was just normal people in the crowd.
Yeah, those are people.
Oh,
Can I say something real fast?
That one black guy. Oh god. Eyes were just huge.
what are you gonna say, Wesley?
I have to agree with Dave. I was watching it with a couple of my buddies and stuff, and we were watching it real close because it was going real slow and stuff. And one of them tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, "Does this seem weird to you?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "The match. Like it just felt. It kind of looks like it changed." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "It looks different." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't understand what you're talking about." But he's like, "Just pay a little bit more attention." I was like, "Okay." So I kind of started paying a bit more attention, because I'd been talking and everything, and I stopped and I was like, oh,
I
because I caught that change and I was like, oh no.
I think I need to rewatch that match.
I know
it was-
where the change
Yeah.
was. It was after a very long period between, I think it was the first F5 into the first Hell's Gate, where Lesnar is standing around for a solid...
Yeah, he wasn't doing anything. He was just standing there watching.
He keeps moving his arm forward a bit. It's like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Because Taker's not doing anything. Lesnar, the guy that's gonna beat you down, tear you apart, is just standing there looking at Taker. It's like, something's not right here. It's like, put out of my mind. Oh, look, Hell's Gate. Maybe we're just building up to that spot. Then they did the Hell Gate spot again. It's like, that must just be my imagination. No.
I really didn't think anything about that because, like I said, they did it in the Triple H match 3 times.
Trying to skip over CM Punk happened. So.
But guys, one thing about the other thing about the Hell's Gate, besides the fact that the ref wasn't counting Undertaker's shoulders down, the Undertaker was having a hard time getting it on.
Especially the second one.
Oh, the second one he did, the arm was in the wrong place. Lesnar's arm was over Taker's leg. That arm should have been between Taker's leg, right?
Yeah, but Taker's managed
sometimes
to
he
get on
just pulls
before.
head down.
So it wasn't in the way, so Taker could hook on the actual submission.
But Taker's...
No, sometimes he just pulls the head down. That's all he needs.
Yeah, and he just wraps his other leg around the back of her neck. But he couldn't even manage that. His other leg was just sticking out.
Yeah, something. God damn, that was.
It
Okay.
That's why I said something's wrong. He was. Throughout the match, he was having a hard time getting up to stand up. That's during the beatdown that Brock was doing. But I don't know how much of, like I said, I don't know how much of that was real and how much of that was fake because
You can never tell because
it looks
Taker's...
like it. It looks like he blew his knee out. It looks like he blew his ACL.
Yeah.
But he walked out on his own. He got out of there quick. He didn't fucking stay out there for too long. After the match and Lesnar's music stopped.
He had a huge time trying to get up to stand up. Once he got stood up, he booked it to get out of there.
Yeah. He was going.
Yeah.
He was not slowly. He didn't even get help from any of the refs. He just stay away from me. I'm gonna go to the back and take this. Something all up. We need to move on. I love the fact that
probably could have gotten help from the refs, but he probably didn't want it to end on the 5th WrestleMania in a row where he had to be helped to the back.
Yeah.
It's all about that pride,
That was
man.
pride.
This
That
was
pride in there.
this was a mess. I love the fact you guys want to continue talking about this, and we can talk about this more next week. Maybe next week if on the next show if we hear anything new about Taker's involvement. But on that show we'll be talking about New Japan and Shimmer and a couple other things. But let's move on. We could talk about how the crowd died. We could talk about everything. during
Oh,
the
God.
Vicky Guerrero Divas Championship Invitational.
More like just the let's talk about Taker the whole entire time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we were
Yeah.
trying to check who was live tweeting at that point, and it was Mike, and we sort of realized it was Mike, and he wrote a comment, "Why is the Divas match the second to last one?" And I'm pretty sure this is the reason why.
Because it was the bathroom break.
No, it's because it was we need the crowd to be somewhat alive for the main event.
We need breathing space between that ending.
That.
There needed to be a match. There needed to be a match where the crowds can let any like emotion out. Let them cry.
So they can
let them
just
yell.
go.
Let them cuss out the divas. Let's call them whores or shit like that. But
Guys,
let's get. We're gonna make them. We're gonna make them happy with the main event.
I knew AJ was retaining, by the way, when she was the only one that had an entrance.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's like everyone else is in the ring.
And it was like, okay, that gave me the same hint. I was like, okay, she's gonna win. I didn't expect her to win quite the way she did. I thought that was great, actually. I actually liked that ending, what she did there.
Okay. Well.
But,
Quickly. There were a couple of things. Now this wasn't like a clusterfuck of a match that I was expecting. There were some
It was
fuck
everyone's
ups.
on the side of the. Everyone gets put onto the side of the ring, and then there's like 2 people in the ring left.
Yeah.
That's
Naomi.
basically the match.
Naomi hit this cool. Man, I don't want to say it was a pile driver, but she pretty much she was on the ropes and she slammed someone's head into the mat.
I will watch the match back and tell you who.
That was a really cool spot. The Bellas fucked up. I don't know what happened to that. Someone was on the top of the rope and the Bellas catched them and they were gonna throw them down and they kind of just
It was
dropped
supposed
her.
to be a rib breaker. It was supposed to be
I really don't
Gutbuster,
remember
and they fucked it
anything
up.
from this match because I was still in shock.
Yeah.
I was trying to pay attention because
Yeah,
I wanted to catch if there were any spots because
Uh,
I was so out of it by that point.
Okay,
I know during the finisher fest, at the very end, Eva Marie sat there and slapped Tamina and pushed her back, and she was all like, "What? What you
Oh
gonna
my
do?"
god, you're fired.
No, no,
And then,
I
Tamina stepped towards her and she bolted out of the ring.
Go ahead, Jonesy.
What? Oh, I was just wanting Strike to shut up about Eva Marie.
Oh, by the way, hold on. Two spots that caught my eye. Tamina kicking Naomi in the face again, and the other eye, mind you.
Jesus Christ, Tamina.
And
We want to pirate Naomi back.
both Bellas doing a suicide dive.
Oh yes, that was very cool.
Well, it did do it on
I
every
liked
single Diva on the roster.
That
I
doesn't
like
make it.
They still did it. That's the point.
I
Yeah.
liked Tamina when Tamina was on the outside and tried to double clothesline and Natalia ducked it. I thought that was kind of cute that she was able to. So I think that's going to set up stuff down the line between those two.
I'm happy that AJ retained.
Yeah.
Just it really sets up the fact that who's gonna beat her now. Like they've kind of set up
Paige.
that AJ has beaten everybody on the map. But is Paige even? She's still women's champion down in NXT, and we already know
doesn't
that.
matter.
He was.
Yeah, Big E was.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess.
But NXT has a presence to the WWE audience now. People have know that NXT exists.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, the first time I think it actually got knocked into people's sense wasn't Big E, it was when The Shield debuted.
Yeah.
People were like, NXT, what's that? I'll Google it. Oh, huh. Why did I not know this existed?
The one piece of commentary I actually liked during this match, and it was when I think it was JBL basically talking about him and says, "She's not all there, is she?" I think I like that.
That's true. There was one spot in this match that I remember. I made a joke in the chat. I can't remember when I made it. It was sometime before WrestleMania. But the Divas match, Natalia was going to lock on a triple sharpshooter. She went for fucking triple sharpshooter. I was like, oh god, no, please don't let it come true. Please don't let it come true. And then Ethan Marie comes to snap it out and go like, no way, please come through, I don't want to see Ethan Marie win by roll up.
If
Even
The-
Murray should have won by roll up.
the worst bit of
Can we extra?
the worst part about commentary tonight was after the Cena Wyatt match, what King said, because I think that's what brought such an empty win. King was talking about how Cena won it for the kids, blah 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 blah, but it felt very scripted. It felt very empty. Because like
Make a wish.
I've heard it for so like I've heard that same thing said constantly, and it's after this same fucking feud. Like, how many times has Cena kind of been in that sort of situation where he's, if he loses this, he's gonna turn and he's gonna give it up and blah 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 blah. It's happened so many times, and like when Lawler said that, it felt empty. It felt like it didn't even matter anymore. That the fact that if Cena can lose a match, I don't know. I just wanted to, because I remember Lawler saying that. WWE World Heavyweight Title match.
Whoa.
What,
Whoa,
Leslie?
What about Vicky?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that that's the last time we might see Vicky.
That is the last time we're gonna see Vicky. Well, maybe tomorrow. She may say her goodbyes tomorrow.
Na 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 na.
Uh,
Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey.
Okay, can we talk about that chant happening in the next match?
okay.
Yeah.
But one real fast. Summer Rae had tassels on. She wins. She should have won.
Completely agree.
Well, so did Cameron.
Shut up.
So did
No,
Naomi.
tassels. Those were
Naomi-
stupid tassels. Those weren't even really tassels. Those were feathers. Get out of here.
I was expecting, by the way, just before before the match actually got underway, Vicky was like, I've got one more competitor for you, and she was going to bring out fucking Trish Stratus or something.
I would have preferred Karma.
What if she would have brought out Lita? AJ probably would have just laid down.
AJ, it would be like,
She would have taken off her pants and just said, I don't even want a match.
Yeah, they can watch. Anyone can watch. Just do this.
I want to mention something.
Yeah.
During the pre-show, the public pre-show, not this the network one. Paige was the only one to get a promo.
Yeah,
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Paige
I
got
was like,
video.
wow. They're really pushing that. So I'm like, yes.
And also during New Japan Pro Wrestling, when we were watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, I found
Gross.
a hype video for this Divas match. Did not show it once during WrestleMania. I was like, really good hype video.
Oh yeah, that was an excellent hype video. Can't believe they didn't use it.
I think they ditched it because of what happened in the previous match.
Oh,
I have AJ Lee hype.
Holy crap! WrestleMania discussion made it to the front page of Reddit.
Yeah, of course it did.
I'm
Doesn't make
going to
sense.
Reddit.
It was gonna aim.
Anyways,
So main event.
WWE World Heavyweight Title match: Batista versus Randy Orton versus the winner of the first match of the night, Daniel Bryan.
Okay, first thing that starts off the match. They play Randy Orton's beginning of his old theme and confuse the fuck out of everyone.
No, actually, that was just Red Theory's guitar giving feedback. That was
This guitar feedback sounds like the start of...
Yeah, nothing you can say or whatever that.
Just
Burning
like,
my life.
everyone's like, hey!
You can say.
You
Mark
take
outside,
what
right,
you're
the punk
going
rock
to.
Man.
Yeah. How'd you guys like the match? Good triple threat match. What'd you guys think?
It was really good.
Just like the first match, it kind of surprised me at how good it was.
Like, Batista surprised me tonight.
Ah, yes. I don't want to talk about the big spot. I know you guys want to mention it, but if you guys could talk about anything else that happened before we could get to that ending.
I want to mention something really fast.
Yeah.
While we were sitting around watching this, me and my friends came up with several names for Batista. Bootista.
Well, that's already.
Batista, Batista, Botchtista, and Batista.
Is he
Batista.
Is he Batista when he joins the Whites?
Batista.
When he
Well,
puts
that's
on
the way
this.
the Rock said it. So,
Batista has no pyro.
That's because of the
I
band
want to
setup.
complain about one thing about this match. I want to take the cameraman who was at the corner and shoot his ass.
yeah.
Because the angles he was giving us for the shots, and they kept on them, sucked. I'm sorry, I couldn't. I was like, "What the hell's going on? Switch to another camera, you idiots!"
It looked like the way they were. This match was progressing. I can't even talk now. They were making it look like that Batista was going to win the title.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was waiting for it to actually happen and the crowd just start setting the building on fire.
Like, it was the knee plus, and then Batista throwing Bryan out was done so quickly. It was like CM Punk versus Big Show versus Cena at SummerSlam. You know, Cena hit the AA, Punk immediately throws Cena out and goes to the pin. I was expecting 1, 2, 3, match over, Batista champion.
Yeah, I will say I think Batista showed that his ring rust is pretty much off right now. I think he's back to as close to his old form as he can get.
And he still got it, but
He was quick. He wasn't that great before. Let's be honest.
Like, his Elimination Chamber match compared to this one is probably 100% increase in performance.
yes.
Well, you can't really phone it in the biggest match on the biggest show or either anything.
Yes, you can.
WrestleMania 2000.
Rock.
Oh, but come on, let's calm down there.
That pay-per-view sucked in general, so...
WrestleMania,
Literally called it in.
WrestleMania 29.
Oh, you saying The Rock phoned it in?
I'm saying Rock phoned it in.
Goldberg.
That wasn't a phone. That was never show up.
That wasn't a main event either.
Yeah, that wasn't a main event. I'm talking main event.
WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, okay.
And can we talk about the attempted interference?
Scott Armstrong's back.
You mean the drive?
Remember Scott Armstrong? I'm sure you do.
Guys, remember that drive-by
It's like,
interference?
shut the hell up about Scott Armstrong. That was the thing. I was like, okay, it's one of the... he came out with Triple H. Of course he's a...
He's a bad guy, remember that.
They beat that to hell, and I was just like, shut up. We know.
By
I
the
think
way,
it's because they.
I'll be honest. I completely forgot about the Scott Armstrong storyline. Like,
Really?
like I was wondering earlier during the show. I'm like, where the fuck has Scott Armstrong been? And I was like,
God.
whatever.
For the past 5 months, I'm like, where's Scott Armstrong?
I was like, whatever. He's probably just taking a sabbatical or something, like Punk. And then
there he is.
and then he appeared. I'm like, wait a second. I put two and two together.
Scott Armstrong.
Greg's over here playing Where's Waldo with Scott Armstrong.
Like, the second I saw that...
But the Wizard, but Scott Armstrong and the Wizard.
Oh,
go fish, go.
Blah, 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 blah. Like, the second I saw that Chioda was the ref, I knew there was going to be a bunch of ref bumps in the match.
Oh yeah. Come
Of
on.
course, he's always the one.
Chioda is the ref bump king.
By the way, I like how they started chanting CM Punk thinking he was coming out.
also, shout out
You know what I
to.
like? Oh, shut up.
Oh, go Jonesy.
You know what I like? I like how they came out, tried to interfere. They Brian dives on all of them, and then they just disappear.
Yeah, well, Steph died.
No.
Oh yeah,
Steph
Steph was selling.
Quite what happened.
Steph was
What happened.
Steph was selling very well to the. Brian went for a suicide dive onto Triple H, Scott Armstrong, and Stephanie kind of scared me for a second because then the commentary just started freaking out like Steph's on the ground, Steph's dying. I'm like, wait, what's happening? Steph's holding on to her ankle. Triple H runs over really quick, like he gets up like immediately. Like I don't want to say like Stephanie is either a really good seller or she got hurt. But I think she's a really good seller. Stephanie's just good at what she does.
She could have twisted her ankle. Actually,
Well,
I
she was
thought
wearing
that she
heels,
might-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
heels and taking a
I
bump.
think she probably might have twisted her ankle there. But the sequence when Brian head kicking the ref like he had done Triple H on Raw. The ref goes outside, then Daniel dumps on him. Then Triple H gets up to see what Steph is, goes, enrages, grabs the sledgehammer. Brian gets the sledgehammer away from him and knocks Hunter down back down to the group with the sledgehammer. I mean, let's get the sequence kind of down right there. What happened?
Yeah,
And-
Steph didn't even she didn't even get hit with the suicide dive. She just basically tripped.
No,
Yeah, that's why I say
Scott
she-
Armstrong
that's why-
rolled over.
My ankle.
But she
That's why I
she
think
sold
she
hella well.
twisted it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she sold it like no tomorrow.
She scared me a little bit, so I'm giving all props to stuff.
Want to talk about the spot now?
What spot? Oh yeah, the spot. Let's talk about the spot.
Let's talk about the non-scary version. Let's just talk about how awesome it was
I
originally.
was calling that from the time they ripped the table off.
Yeah, you called it. You called it. It's like,
I was wondering how the hell it happened. It pretty much like that.
So
Batista bomb to RKO. It's gonna happen.
So essentially, what happened? Once Brian started getting just being up, commentators mentioned the fact that Batista and Orton are working together. This is after Triple H came out, and they're like,
Sledgehammer.
yeah, they're working together. Blah 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 blah. How dare they? And they get all the stuff off of the commentating tables, and Batista sets Brian up for a power bomb, and Orton standing on the other table and
on stairs.
On stairs.
Oh, on stairs, and RKO's Brian getting Batista bombed or just power bombed. It was cool, but the sick part of it, the sick part about it was there was a teleprompter sitting under the announce table that no one saw, especially Randy Orton, because he lands straight ass on top of the fucking teleprompter
and smashes it
and cuts his back. Oh my
That looked
god!
like it really fucking hurt.
And people were saying he threw up from it or something.
Imagine the sweat that he was probably going down his body. That should have infected his fucking cut. That was just nasty.
Can we talk about the French announce table?
Oh yeah,
I was that there.
Oh,
they have a French announce team now.
No, that doesn't matter. Why did they put there if there wasn't going to be a spot with it?
They've always had a French announce team. They just never been shown on television.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's an extra table.
So
Well, but the thing is that became prominent because of the
New Orleans
Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Is right after they showed that because Cesaro speaks French. He's from the French.
And
club.
Andre the Giant was French.
And
I thought
Andre
it was
the
because
Giant
of
was
New
French.
Orleans.
New Orleans is not a French part of town.
But New Orleans was a French colony.
Yep.
Right. So, I mean,
Well,
there was a
bye.
lot of reasons to have the French table there, is what we're getting at. And
See?
it is the first time I've really seen it on television, I'll be honest with you. Normally, the only two that are there at ringside are the Spanish and the
but
English.
that didn't stop them from destroying the Spanish announce table.
Okay, I get why they had
Which
the
is where
Spanish
the
announce.
teleprompter was.
Yeah.
Spanish announce table is a veteran, though.
I get why they had the Spanish announce table in the middle was for that spot to get rid of the Spanish announce table. But why, in retrospective, if they didn't destroy the table, why would the Spanish announce table be in the middle? Wouldn't that be more of the spot where you want the American announce team?
You'd think.
No. You always want things to be as centered as possible, no matter where it is.
You would want your main broadcast team in the middle, so you would want the French on one side and the Mexican announce team on the other. Spanish.
You want the French in the middle so they can't run away.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Racist and that podcast. Strike! For fuck's sake, we were doing well.
Oh, fuck you! I mentioned it during the cast. Fuck you.
Alright.
Anyways, what a fucking WrestleMania. Bryan wins. He is the winner. And
No,
new.
we forgot about the other spot.
What other spot?
The Brian gets picked up by the EMTs and goes on the stretcher, and then he's like,
Oh yeah.
"No, I gotta go back."
I gotta go back. I'm yesing up. Yeah.
What
Uh,
you gotta do, brother?
Essentially, Bryan wins when Batista hits a Batista bomb on Orton, and Bryan runs in, nails the knee on Batista, and puts the yes lock on him for the win. Bryan, the crowd, there was not one person in the arena who wasn't doing the yes chant. Bryan was over. He got his moment. That he was crying in the middle of the ring.
And
He
keep in mind,
had his
They didn't,
he had his sister and his niece come in. I
Sister?
think.
yeah, but
Yeah, it
they
was his
kept
sister.
Brie Bella from coming.
Yeah, they stopped Brie
Yeah,
Bella
they-
from coming.
They couldn't let her come out.
Why wouldn't they let
Can
her
we-
come out?
They told her
Can we
to
talk
fuck
about how
off.
this match was spot on to the Benoit versus Triple H versus Shawn match?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
It was spot on. You had the tables. You had the throwing each other out and then working a match one-on-one. Then you had the person returning randomly. Then you threw the other person out. Then you had a one-on-one match. Then you had the table spot.
Well, that's just a good triple threat, and that's kind of what you do.
Well, it ended the same exact way. The biggest heel they had taps out to the crossface.
But
I will say
I
that-
I think that's gonna set up.
Great.
Yeah, go Duck.
I will say this set up like the WrestleMania memory for me was the crowd, like how dead the crowd was, even like halfway through the match, and all of a sudden they started coming alive, like even before that table spot. Like
Why
that was
did
an
they-
amazing job
Why
by all
did
three
they
of those
start
guys.
chanting na 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 hey hey
because that
goodbye?
was when
Beca-
Triple
because
H
that's
and
Triple H.
Stephanie were leaving.
No. 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 No.
Because they were setting up for the table spot, and I'm just like, why are they chanting that at Orton and Batista?
No, they were chanting that at Triple H and stuff.
Yeah. I didn't see that happening, so I was just like, why are they chanting this at Batista and Orton? This isn't WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, Triple H got hit in the head with a sledgehammer. He was out. Stephanie sprained her ankle, so she was out.
Scott Armstrong was the ref; he was out.
Yeah, he fell over. He was out.
Rip.
So it was pretty much about as close to an even playing field as Brian was going to get.
By the way, shout out to Cut for Taker on Twitter.
I already see pictures.
Hashtag Cut for Taker.
Hashtag cut for John.
So guys, another WrestleMania's over. In the books, WrestleMania 30. 30 years of WrestleMania. I'd like to hear from everybody. What's their final thoughts on WrestleMania? Starting with Doug.
Whew, well, this is definitely a memorable WrestleMania for however you want to take it. All the matches were good, some not as good as expected, but all the matches were good enough, and like it's gonna be like forever memory. WrestleMania 30, the end of the streak, but overall it was a great WrestleMania. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.
All right, Strike. What's that picture you just posted?
Oh, that's
It's Cameron's bra coming loose during the match.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I'm clicking on that.
Alright, I gotta know. Hold on.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
That's
Yeah.
stupid.
From the looks of it.
Suck Strike.
I just found it randomly, and I was like,
Oh wait, Greg, you can see something.
Where?
Summer race tassels.
You're right. They're amazing.
Oh no! Go away! You can also see something else. Wesley.
and
You
it's-
see Cameron's tassels.
No, Cameron doesn't have tassels. She has fuzzy boots. Melina's gonna get pissed and get her fired.
Oh, we forgot to talk about Daniel Bryan's fuzzy boots.
Dude, his goat boots.
But
Ah.
Dear Furry.
I love the goat.
and before it was real goats.
The furry boots gave him a 2+ to pedigree resistance.
Okay.
I said they were Brie Bella's boots.
Hey Dave, what's your final thoughts on WrestleMania 30?
It's better than a lot of WrestleManias I've seen over the years. I would probably put it about 8 out of 10 myself, even with the disappointment of seeing the streak being lost. There was only really kind of two matches that were kind of bad, in my opinion, and they were the Shield match because it was such a squash, and then I knew the Divas wasn't going to be great, but otherwise I liked almost every one of the matches, and everything was even the Brock Taker match was slow, and of course Taker lost and all of that, and I think that actually would have been one of the worst matches out of the bunch, but otherwise I thought it was good.
Okay. Mr. Agent Washington, John.
Yes, hello. I am Agent Washington.
Yeah.
I will. It was a good WrestleMania. It wasn't as bad as last year, for instance.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as the year before, for instance. It wasn't as bad as the year before that one.
27 is the worst one ever.
Most matches...
Besides 9. 9 and 27 are the worst ever.
Most matches got their time, except the Shield match, and then it felt like a WrestleMania to me.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's the biggest thing. It felt like a WrestleMania.
Like, unlike WrestleMania 29, for instance, I felt it was WrestleMania. It's like, there was one storyline I was so invested in, and there was another that I liked because Bray Wyatt was in control of it.
And then there was a big shocker, and everybody started cutting themselves, and then, it felt like a really good WrestleMania.
And then
Remember, kids, cut behind your knees so they can't see them.
And then,
Remember, cut along the river, not across.
And HAB was made known tap. Literally made known tap, apparently.
Wesley.
I'm gonna be really honest. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
You sure you're not going to give it a 21 out of 1?
Oh. Yeah, you right.
God
You right.
damn it.
She totally stole that joke, by the way. But anyways, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Any thoughts, comments?
Well, the obvious one. I was upset whenever Taker lost, but bigger things may be at work right there. So you never know. And all in all, I really liked it. This was the first WrestleMania I've watched in a while that actually made me feel emotions. And also, Daniel Bryan won, so that works for me. Totally perfect.
Yeah. Who's next? Ryan. Fish.
Which one?
Fish.
Okay. This is probably the best WrestleMania since 24.
Ah.
I'm gonna
agree with that.
I have to give it probably an 8.8.
Ooh, very nice.
It's in my top 3 of the best ones ever.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Okay.
Even with the Taker thing, the shock of that made this WrestleMania even more important.
Yeah.
You know what? What I'm thinking? Maybe next year's, if we're still around, for next year's WrestleMania.
We haven't killed each other.
Yeah, we haven't choked each other to death.
We'll still be around.
Yes.
We'll still be around next year.
Let's all take the time to watch every single WrestleMania. And kind of for next year's Mania.
Can we just skip 9?
No.
9's so bad, I don't want to watch it anymore.
You gotta rewatch 9.
I don't want to watch 9 anymore.
But it'll be on your guys' time.
Last time.
We'll talk about it a little bit more. Figure out who's everybody's actual favorite WrestleManias are. Okay, Strike. What's your thoughts on WrestleMania?
I think that when the overall worst part of your card winds up being the Taker match in terms of what you were expecting and overall quality, I guess, then you either did something very wrong or something very right.
Yeah.
So
That's a good way to put it.
So I was really what would be the word? Really I was really happy with how this WrestleMania turned out. I mean, outside when I wasn't happy with Taker, but aside from that, everything else either met my expectations or exceeded my expectations. Fuck that one fan, though.
Oh,
You suck.
You suck.
You suck.
You suck.
What happened?
There was a fan during the end when Taker was finally getting up and starting to move. The fan just shouts at Taker, "You suck!"
No, the best part of it was Cole was like, I wonder what's going through the mind of Taker right now. And then you just hear, "You suck!"
Fuck him up the ass with a cactus.
They should have cut to a Game of Thrones shot of Ned Stark just being stabbed by everything.
hey, Mike.
Way to steal my joke too, asshole.
What's up?
What's your final thoughts on WrestleMania 30?
I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, very low from the rest of the guys.
Jappy,
Want to
no Tokyo.
explain why?
The Triple H Bryan match was the best match of the night.
Yeah, that was my match of the night too.
The Wyatt match should have had Wyatt winning after all those mind games. It made no sense for Cena to win. The Battle Royal. The Battle Royal. I'm glad Cesaro won. But they should start showing all the entrances during pay-per-views.
Nah, that would have taken forever.
No, it wasn't. You
They
give them
could
30, you give them 10 second
have
entrance.
everyone out there. They even
they
gave them
could-
entrances.
They could have gave him like the Divas entrance where they all come filing out,
Yeah, that's true.
You could give them each a 10-second entrance.
10
They've done it
seconds is
before.
way too long. More like 3.
They've done it before. You're halfway down the ramp and
Basically,
the
all
next
we
scene
saw
plays.
was Big Show and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who I thought was going to win was Big Show and Sheamus. It was like, I got entrances.
Yeah, like the first thing you saw, like coming back from the promo, was just hearing "Well," and you're just like, "Oh, he's gonna win it now."
Yeah.
and then he
shout
didn't.
Shout out to the morons trying to chant CM Punk, thinking he was coming back.
They got a couple strong CM Punk chants, though.
And all of them were during Brian, so it's not that
Yeah.
bad.
And well, they still chanted it like he's gonna come back right then and there.
I still
Yeah,
wanted,
because that would have been the one time. Stop hating everything.
I still wanted corporate Punk.
That made the
I'm not
most
gonna
sense.
lie,
but it
I wanted
didn't
him to
happen.
show up. I really did. I was like, yeah, he's perfect.
Brie Bella snapped selfie in underwear on Instagram.
Oh,
Link,
Let's take a look
what?
at this.
everyone,
Look at this.
link it, link it, link it, link it, link it.
Yeah, if
We
it's
all
worthy-
stopped our thoughts.
if it's worthy enough, I'll link it. And it is worthy. Oh, bye.
Well, now you have to link it.
Oh, my.
Rick, you know how you were on the go about people not linking things fast enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go there. It's the first
Oh my
link.
god.
Oh
It
my!
doesn't even work.
Mike, you just linked 411 Mania. I think you just gotta stop right there.
It's on there.
It doesn't even work.
I'm going to do
Copy and paste.
guys.
I'm going to do it for us, guys. I'm going to link
Somebody's gonna shove a cactus up Mike's butt.
because
Well, butt stuff.
I'm a cool guy. I'm going to link it.
Oh, there you are.
What are you linking? I don't even know what we're talking about.
Let me finish our
Big
stuff here.
Bella snaps.
Redoing yoga on the hotel room floor. Oh, my.
Oh, Brie Bella snapping a selfie in her underwear on Instagram? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh hey, look, Mike. There's the picture.
Oh my lordy.
You know, maybe we should finish our stuff.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
wrestling.
Hey, Jonesy, what's your thoughts on WrestleMania?
What do you need?
Can I have some lube, please, guys?
Oh my god, Jonesy.
Jonesy's got a one train ticket to
Okay.
Fat Town.
Shut up, John. I think it's probably one of the best pay-per-views that they put on in a long time, and I enjoyed most of it. And
of it?
yes, most of it.
Okay, we get it.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, and then I'll give it a 8.5.
8.5, very nice. I guess it's me. Man,
Would this be in your top 5?
of WrestleManias,
Yeah.
top 5. I don't know. Probably not. Maybe close to 6. Maybe I don't know. It would definitely be in my top 10 for sure. It was a really good WrestleMania. It felt like the strongest WrestleMania in years. And I mean, we've had some lackluster WrestleManias that
27.
it just seemed cookie cutting of each and every, like, the matches were not booked. But this one
The
was
matches were not
different.
booked?
I mean, the matches weren't booked properly. But this one felt different. This one felt alive. This one felt it had things to it. It had consequences. It had victories. It had, every type of spice and ingredient that you could possibly have for a pay-per-view.
Are we cooking?
Yeah.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Yeah, we're
Cat
making
of Chemical
Powerpuff
X.
Girls.
Aside from some of the segments, we didn't mention one of these segments, but I wasn't too much of a fan of the WrestleMania 1 segment between Paul Orndorff, Piper,
Oh, I
Hogan,
completely
and
forgot about that.
Mr. T.
'Cause that was right.
Same.
That was right after the Taker match.
Oh yeah, that was completely inappropriate.
No, it's not Paul Orndorff. It's Paul Orndorff.
Orndorff, sorry.
It's Paul Levesque.
It's Ortendorfen.
Why didn't you guys like that?
The reason
I thought it was funny.
I thought it maybe Paul Orndorff didn't understand his script. There was a weird production. Did you guys hear that? Fuck you, Mike. Did you guys hear the production? It sounded like there was some productions team talking about like a sheet or like a script that came on. It was probably because Mean Gene put his mic close to his earpiece. My problem was it felt like they. It kind of felt like there was a script, and then it kind of went off course, and then it kind of got awkward, and then it kind of just ended. I like the fact that it happened, and that could have been a really cool segment. And that was one of those segments that they kept on saying that Mean Gene ended with. Now, isn't that a good WrestleMania moment? And you didn't really need that. I definitely didn't think Mean Gene didn't have to say that, and I probably would have liked the segment a little bit more. But I think that was my problem going out of it. It just kind of
because it was after.
it kind of just got lost in the shuffle. It got lost during the fucking actual promo. But aside from everything, it was a really good Mania. Very, like, a lot of moments where I was at the edge of my seat. A lot of times where I was cheering, where I was booing. I almost cried. The emotions running wild. This was the strongest WrestleMania in a while, and I would give all the props to Triple H and Stephanie for putting this together. Even though some of the stuff did kind of look like Vince got a hold of it, like the Cena match and stuff like that. But everything else, very solid. 8.5 out of 10.
I actually did kind of almost want to cry in the Taker aftermath.
I was lost. I didn't know what to do. It took
Like
me a while to finally understand what happened.
I was just sitting there kind of thinking about it, and like my eyes kind of felt like they wanted to try and start something, but it was like, no, I don't think that's what I'm feeling.
It's going to take me a couple weeks to kind of wrap my head around this. And I'm going to think about it a lot. And I'm definitely going to look at the actions WWE approaches with this. Because they're definitely going to answer questions in the next 2 weeks. Especially tomorrow. We're going to get some answers to a lot of our questions tomorrow. Depends if Taker could work a couple more matches. We're going to have to see. We're all going to get our big climaxes tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow on Raw is going to be very fun.
I think the best way to describe it was an out-of-body experience, because it just didn't feel real at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, more dirt sheets for the Taker stuff apparently coming out. DDP was the first one to evaluate him, and Rock and Stone Cold were crying and hugging him at the same time. Taker was supposed to win after 17 minutes.
Wait,
know,
what?
I-
Rock and Austin were hugging and crying? What?
They were hugging Taker and crying with him.
Link me the source of this bad sheet.
I honestly thought that it was like an extremely close count when it happened because there wasn't a bell. There was no.
There was no immediate
It was
reaction.
quiet after that.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, that was such a close count.
It was
like
it
the-
was like it was like they didn't have anything prepared. There was like a 4 or 5 minutes of silence where it was kind of like the announcer was trying to wrap what was happening. It was kind of like maybe they didn't have the theme set up, maybe they didn't have the numbers, the 21 and 1 set up. It was, again, a lot of answers are going to be a lot of questions are going to be answered in the coming days. We're just going to have to wait and see. This is the longest time I've ever been completely out of touch with what's happening, and it's scaring me.
I say I'm still going to go back to what I say. I'm still going to say that Taker said
Listen,
no.
me to win the match. I'm gonna die.
Well, well, no, but see, I honestly think Taker switched the ending on the match on him. I think Taker pulled a shoot on him. There's just something in me that tells me that something, either he went wrong with it, or he said, "No, or he went into that knowing he was going to switch the ending on them, and they were going to have him win, and he switched it and told Lesnar, which is where Lesnar started going, "What the f is going on here?" Because he's taught that follow the instructions by the ref and by the what they was
Even if
But
Taker came out to the world and said, "Yeah, I switched the match on live TV or wherever," I still would not be able to believe that.
Yeah.
He's not gonna break kayfabe on live television.
I know, that's an example, Mike.
Okay. You know what? We're closing in on 2 hours.
I told you that was gonna happen.
It's a
Yeah.
goddamn WrestleMania show.
It's the WrestleMania show. It was.
Flopper bunch.
So I'm actually going to end it here because it's going to take way too long to upload this at this point, and I need to start working on this
Greg's
right
internet
now.
sucks.
And we pretty much did the.
Oh,
we
pop
pretty much
flopping
did
butts
our.
this week.
No,
We pretty much did the pop flopping bot.
if you want to hear our pop flopping botches, take a listen to our show. That's the next show that we're going to be putting out. We're still working out when we're going to do it. We're thinking of doing it on Thursday. We're going to be recording another show to go over a lot of the other stuff that's happened over the week. We may even go over Raw during that show as well. It depends on what we're feeling that night. That show may be coming out Saturday or Sunday, so if you want to hear our pop-up and botches, that's the day. That's the podcast that you're going to be able to listen to it on. So thank you everybody for joining us. This has been the Arc of Wrestling podcast. Remember, we were live over on Senshudo.tv/Arc of Wrestling. If you want to go check out some streams that we're going to be putting on in the next.
Shout out to Dolphins getting destroyed today.
Oh, man!
Every goddamn prediction.
I hope he's over with. I don't want to hear anything from him again.
I was reading his tweets. He's complaining about his source being wrong. Well, it's your fault. You're trying to better the product.
Yeah.
Quote.
Too bad, so sad.
you got skunked, buddy.
Guys,
That's all.
You
breaking
got
John
swerved.
Sheets news. Dolphins are terrible spoilers.
That works on so many levels.
Okay, there's gonna be a Breaking John Cena news tweet.
Yeah.
Um.
Spoilers as in on cars, or
Oh, get out. Get out.
my spoiler is a dolphin.
Get out.
Dude,
Just
I got this sweet decal of
Oh,
Snowflake the Dolphin from Miami.
One quick last thing. Christian was not in the battle royal.
Yes.
He's
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 done.
fine. I would like to pay my respects to Christian.
He's never gonna have that last Mania match with Edge. That Edge always says that he's wanted.
Wait.
And Edge always says if you ever had one last match in WWE, it would be against Christian at Mania.
Well, guess what? It's never gonna happen.
I
Did they kill
know.
each other in the middle of the ring?
At this rate, Edge is going to be the healthier one.
Oh my
God.
god.
Fucking shot the neck.
On that note, thank you guys for joining us for the Arc of Wrestling podcast. Remember, go check out Shensudo.tv. Go check out John's Tumblr, wrestling-giffer.
www.wrestling-giffer.tumblr.com.
Yes, make sure to follow us on this YouTube channel and our original YouTube channel. We're going to really work hard to get that back up and running because I want to put the show on that one too. Also, remember to go check out Twitter. We're going to let you guys updated on when the next show is going to happen on there. That's twitter.com/Arc of Wrestling. And remember, next time you want to listen to some wrestling nerds talk wrestling, check out the Arc of Wrestling podcast. Yeah? Alright.
Can I say something real fast, Greg?
Yeah, Wesley.
Okay. Listen, listeners.
Oh, God.
If you felt something tonight... Shut up, Duck. Shut your mouth. If you felt something tonight...
Wesley, let's go!
God, I'm trying. If you felt something awesome about tonight's WrestleMania, leave comments. We want to know what you guys thought about it.
Yes,
So what your
please
input-
like
all
and
that.
subscribe and comment. We
And
love your reading your comments.
one more thing.
I'm hating the fact that Wesley has to pretend like other people and comment. Fucking asshole.
And one more thing.
This was awesome.
Yes! Yes! Yes!